The Rookie. How did you come across the story of Jim Morris, the pitcher that Dennis Quaid portrayed so brilliantly in the film?
Mike Rich wrote the script, and it was sent to me by a friend of mine who was producing the movie alongside a guy named Mark Ciardi, who had played minor league baseball with Jimmy Morris way back in the day, not the second time around, but the first time around. And so Mark had come across the story in Sports Illustrated. Somebody said, this guy's making a comeback, this old dude. And Ciardi thought, wait a minute, it couldn't be the same Jimmy Morris, but it was. And he secured the rights to Jimmy's life rights. And I read the script and thought that for a guy from Portland, Oregon, Mike Rich did a really great job of capturing West Texas. He had obviously spent a lot of time down there and knew his stuff. And it was the first movie I directed, so I was just trying not to get fired.
Well, you succeeded, huh?
Yes.
Well, I mean, it's so beautifully done. I've seen it in theaters. I've watched it once, for like a third, fourth time in my life on a plane. I'm crying at 40,000 feet, like literally tearing up. I ask this hesitantly because I like to think everything's true and ripped straight from actually happening, certainly in my favorite sports movies. The concept of him throwing a fastball using a speed limit sign to clock himself and then not knowing just how fast it was because it wasn't operating properly, the speed limit sign. Did that really happen, John Lee Hancock?
Yes and no.
Okay.
No, it didn't happen to Jimmy Morris, but Mike Rich swears that when he had a July 4th barbecue one time, that he and some of his friends had a few too many beers, and there was one down the street, and they took baseballs and threw it, and they swear that it gauged numbers. So I think years later when he wrote the script, he thought, well, that would be a good way to let the audience in on something that Jimmy himself doesn't know.
And I just love the idea that he thought he didn't throw very fast, then he walks away, and then the number 9, the first digit, clicks in. I get goosebumps just even thinking about that, sir. Really.
I remember, it's one of the things about directing movies is you remember exactly where you were when you were shooting that.
Okay.
And what time of night it was. We were in Austin, very near a high school that's now been torn down on a little tiny road. But yeah, you took me right back there just then.
I love it. What time of night was it, John Lee Hancock?
It was probably, we shot that last, so I think it was probably around 11 at night.
Oh, man. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.